What up, though? I am Jay the Gentleman. It's Wednesday, so this is a new episode of Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. The other day, I was scrolling on YouTube as I normally do. Case Kenny, he is a YouTuber, a relationship coach, a white guy, and regardless of his ethnicity, I adore his approach to life, to love, to relationships. And he posted a video that I'll put the link in the description, and it was about why we pursue unavailable people. In his case, he's talking to a very general audience, but here, obviously, we're talking about men. Why do we pursue unavailable men? For a long time, that was me. I felt like I didn't deserve a good man. I didn't deserve the cute man. I didn't deserve the one that was going to be excited about me because I had never had it. And so a whole lot of my insecurities, looking back on it, crept up into why I didn't pursue men that really were for my good. I always ended up with the man who was emotionally unavailable. And so those insecurities made me settle for men who either weren't excited about me or didn't know how to activate or how to be excited for me. They didn't know that excitement in a relationship was possible sometimes. And so I ended up settling for the cute man, the man with the good job, the man with a lot of degrees, one with the house, one with a nice, better apartment, one with a car, one with whatever thing that I didn't have for myself. They more often than not end up emotionally unavailable. And that just left me disappointed. If this is you, though, I really want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if you feel like maybe this is something that you've been through, you've dated some unavailable men, and how did you get over it? Or what did you learn from those experiences? I really want to know. In all those situations, though, I realized that there were three common threads, three hallmarks, three ways to clearly know that he's not that into you. Yesterday, though, I posted the backstory to these lessons. So I'll put the link in the description on how I learned these lessons, what I went through, and where this came from, because that's probably the question I get the most. The first is he only calls when he needs something. If you've had a fuck buddy, a entanglement, a situationship, you're probably acquainted with transactional relationships. I call you or you call me when we need something. And that's okay. That is absolutely appropriate if that is the intention that you put forth as you're going into this. But if you have expressed to him that I want something deeper, and he has expressed to you that he wants something deeper, but you can't get to the deeper, you can't get beyond transactions, beyond dates to hook up, or beyond, midnight rendezvous, then he might just not be that into you. The second is there's no plans for the future. I am the type of person who I know very clearly in like the first 5 minutes whether or not I could date somebody. It's just a energy that you get, that I get from beautiful men. And I'll go deeper in another episode on how I can pinpoint that, but it is definitely an energy. And so what I do, at least when I'm dating someone, is if I have an interest in you, if I got that spark, if I got those butterflies in my tummy, if you checked all the right boxes, and I hope I checked the right boxes for you, then the first date I'll start talking about the second date. Or, after so many dates, I'll start talking about, my family. And then eventually I want you to meet them, or eventually I want you to, travel with me or take this to the next level. The process of dating is always about progress. But if the person that you are talking to doesn't get with you in those instances, he's not talking about progress, he's not talking about what's next, about things that you and he can accomplish together, then he might not be that into you. It doesn't always have to be something big. Like I said, it could be something like, I'll call you later. That just lights me up when someone says, I'll call you later, and they actually do. That gets deep in my spirit. When a man can say exactly what he means what he says, and can follow through. But the hallmark of knowing that someone is into you is they make plans for you. Men are planners. Whether you are a masked man or a femme man, a trans man, a top man, a bottom man, a verse man, we plan. We plan shit out. So if he's not making any plans with you, he's probably not that into you. The third and probably the most important hallmark of knowing whether or not he's into you is if he has his needs fulfilled in other places. The integrity of dating, when I date someone, it's important to establish early on, when we see that this is going somewhere, what is sacred in our relationship. What is sacred that we are going to keep just between us. A lot of people that I've dated, that is our bodies. We do not have sex with other people. Our bodies are sacred inside this commitment. For others, it's, watching Game of Thrones or House of Dragons. For somebody else, it's, we go to this particular restaurant and that's our thing. For other people, it could be, midnight conversations or watching each other brush our teeth in the morning. Whatever it is, and however many things it is, every commitment has something that is sacred inside it. And there is a reason that thing serves a purpose for each of our lives. If it is our bodies, it's because I want to know that you're willing to sacrifice for me. If it is watching this thing on date night, is I want to know that you're willing to wait for me and create this experience with me. If it is, going to a restaurant, it's because I want to share these moments together and make these memories together. But if he is able to make memories of the same magnitude with several people, he's probably not that into you. If he is willing to fulfill his carnal desires, have sex with or hookups with or entanglements with no intention of making this a sacred part of your connection, he might not be that into you. I know that that the thing that keeps a man attracted are those sacred moments. Now, it might not be the same thing for each of you. Like for me, it could be that, our sex is good, but for you, it could be that I talk to you about what's going on in your workday. Each of us has something that we will come to the other person for. But if this man that you're interested in is not willing to openly say, this is what I come to you for, and then keep coming to you for that, he's not willing to commit to coming to you and only you for something, he probably ain't that into you, sis. I think the bigger lesson in all of this is sometimes a man showing signs that he's into you or not into you is much more about him and less about you. It takes vulnerability, it takes courage, it takes risks to say, this is what my heart wants. I desire you. I want you. I would like to spend time with you. That takes balls to be able to say that shit out loud to another person. It takes even more balls to say that shit to yourself and mean it. And so if he's not willing to make such a declaration, if not in his words, at least in his actions, then that's less about you than it is about him. He might not be courageous enough to make such a statement. It could be timing. It could be maturity. It could be insecurity. It could be a whole bunch of reasons why someone can't align their thoughts with their desires and actions. Regardless, however, that is not your fault. I have been the type that has settled for other people's insecurities because I didn't think that the right version of that thing was possible for me. Now, I could be wrong because I'm still single. I'm going into 37. I'll be 37 in September. But I could be just talking out my neck. But one thing that I know is that a relationship should be everybody's soft place to fall. And the only way it becomes a soft place to fall is if I know that both of us are going to work not the same way, but at the same amount to make this a soft place for both of us to fall. So, dear black gay men, you are dope just the way you are. If the other person, if that man ain't excited about that, fuck him. That was our show. I am Jay the Gentleman. If this episode made you feel a little more dope, be sure to share with someone who needs a dopeness reminder. We're new every Wednesday, so follow Dear Black Gay Men on all of our socials. I am Jay the Gentleman. That was our show, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.